Alright.
Morning, Chip.
Morning. What's up, Aaron? How we doing?
Alright.
Practice was good.
Your
Put that
offense,
out of the way.
your offense obviously gets a lot of praise, but how pleased are you with the way the defense has played the last couple of games out here?
Defense wins championships, and we've won the last 2 championships in this league because of our defense, and they've really continued the same thing. There's a lot of new guys in there. You know, Casey's not here, Spence isn't here, Brandon Bear isn't here, Kenny Rowe isn't here, Talmadge isn't here. But I think the young guys that have got an opportunity to play have really stepped up, and I'm really happy with how they're playing right now.
You mentioned the young guys that played too. How important is that for the growth of the program?
It's huge, and we knew that before the season started. We only have 10 seniors, so you know we're one of the youngest teams out there. But that's not an excuse. You know, I think some people talk about their youth and just say, well, next year is going to be the year. Every year is going to be the year here. We'll have a chance to compete, but it's how those young guys come along, and I think they've done a really good job.
Chip, with an inexperienced defense, you know, going into the season, have they met your expectations of what you wanted from them so far?
Yeah, they have. You know, the one thing, our expectation, no matter how old you are or how young you are or whatever, is that you play hard and play with great effort. And that's the one thing those guys have really done is week in and week out they've played with great effort. And I think part of us limiting a lot of the big plays that occur in college football is because we get a lot of guys running to the ball, and that's what our guys have been doing.
What do you look at right now as sort of the strength of the defense and what you need to get better at?
I look at their strength as their effort, number one, and I also think that they really have a great grasp of the system that Coach Aliotti and the rest of his defensive coaches have put in, and they got a real good understanding of it. And we got a lot of real young guys out there contributing and doing a great job. You know, we're into 7-8 games in, and they're really performing really well. And I think, you know, when you see a thrown ball, there's always 2 or 3 guys around them. Now, sometimes they may make the catch, but our guys are limiting the runs after the catch, and that's part of effort and part of the knowledge of the scheme. So.
How would you describe your pacing so far this year, as you know, compared to last season? Are you happy with how quickly you guys have been running plays?
It depends. You know, it really depends on how the refs in those individual games are going to spot the ball. So, you know, most of the time we're waiting, and we got to play however they determine they want to play the game. But I think so far it's been pretty good for us.
Does it change much at all preparation for you if it's Lobosal or Tool?
No, they run the same offense, and there's so much tape on Lobosal, so it's not like, well, we haven't really seen this guy. Marshall's been around for a long time, and it really has done a really, really nice job in subbing it. And I thought Jeff was one of the real top quarterbacks coming into this league, and we was expecting a big year from him. And for Marshall to step in, it's also a compliment to their scheme. I think they're running the ball better than they have in the past, and they've got, you know, 3 really, really good wideouts in Carstetter and Marquise and Barton that are really, you know, can cause some problems in matchup patterns for you. So they're doing a good job on the offensive side of the ball.
How does it make you feel when analysts or whoever describe the team as a somewhat of a finesse team? Do you look at your team as a physical team, or how physical?
We don't pay attention to that stuff. So.
Well, how would you describe your team as far as compared with other teams, as far as like the physical nature of your team?
Describe our team as 6-1.
What about the physical nature of your team?
You can say whatever you want. Doesn't mean anything to us. I don't really care. You can call us physical. You can call us anything. Doesn't bother us. We don't pay attention to any of that stuff.
Well, not what they say, but what do you say?
I say we're 6-1. We don't talk about that stuff.
You don't talk about the nature or how physical your team is defensively or offensively?
No. I mean, it's not like we hold hands and sing Kumbaya. We go out and play practice. That's it. We don't have a lot of meetings. We don't talk a lot. We just say, hey, this is our game plan this week. Let's go practice. So, you know, we don't have a lot of feel-good sessions and compliment and all those other stuff. That's not what it's all about. It's about going out and repeating the same thing day in and day out. And 6 times it's worked for us, and 1 time it didn't work for us. So.
Brian Bennett and the backup running backs did well on Saturday. Do you attribute a lot of that success to the O-line?
I attribute that success to their preparation, you know, and I think our O-line's attitude is it really doesn't matter who's behind them. It takes 11 guys to run the ball, so I attribute it to our O-line, I attribute it to our receivers, and I attribute it to those guys when they get their opportunity to go in and play, have done a really, really good job.
Just about Bennett in general, I mean, you go in with a game plan, you hope what happened. I mean, how close was he to actually going up to those expectations? I know you have high expectations, but did he get to that?
Yeah, we have very high expectations for him, you know, and I think Brian did a nice job. The biggest thing with our quarterback was making sure that you let things happen. You don't have to make it happen, and I don't think Brian really forced the issue. I thought he did a nice job of managing the game, you know, and playing within himself, and then that's what we asked him to do, and that's what he did.
I've gotten asked this a lot, Coach.
What's that?
I was wondering this. What do your friends call you? Your friends call you Chip? Friends call you Charles? What do they call you?